Okay, so let's jump right into it. So we'll get started first with the farm stand project at the North Long Beach Victory Garden. So this idea was very much inspired by what you could call the OG farm stand in town, Captain Charlie Moore's farm stand at 341 Bayshore, where on Sundays, 10 to 2, he has I think we're calling it a point and click garden where you can roll up. There's some goodies on the table, maybe some loquats, some greens. But in addition, you can kind of walk along the front of Charlie's property and you can point at things you'd like to taste or buy, and he will promptly cut them for you and sell them to you. And I've been a bunch of times. It's totally fun. The food is delicious. But also, I noticed how much engagement Charlie has with his neighbors when he brings the food out. And I saw people asking questions like, "Oh, how do you plant this, Charlie?" Or, "Oh, how do you cook this?" And so that level of engagement with the community is very obviously very desirable. And so we took the site at the North Long Beach Victory Garden, where there isn't always somebody there, no one lives there, and the food is visible because we did remove the fence and put a more permeable fence. But people who don't know about the crop swap or what have you might not be able to get at the food. And so we contacted artist Amy Tanaka, who lives is a mom and an artist who lives a few blocks from the site. And we asked her for help as part of We Rise, that we sort of do a barn raising and build a farm stand so more people can have these healthy, happy engagements in the neighborhood with the site. And she came up with this really cool design where there's some vegetables on display, but not that much, because just like Charlie innovated, we don't want to pick the produce and have it wilt on the stand. We want to keep the produce growing until the freshest moment where somebody can purchase it and then pick it for them and with them and have a more engaging experience. And then also on the side of her design, she has seed packs and more ways for people to get engaged. And this branding that you see, like the victory stand, that was some initial branding, but we actually are going to be naming this farm stand after an individual who's contributed much to the North Long Beach Victory Garden over the last 5 years. And it's kind of a surprise. So I can't break that here, but we hope you guys will stay tuned on this project so you can find out who. Amy got to fast work, and she said that her brother, who also lives maybe a mile or two from the site, had just purchased this very odd uh, uh, grow bed. And so we're going to be using this as the base of the farm stand. And then I believe we've got some wood wine boxes donated to us as well to build some of the elements to it. Jeff Rowe went over to with Amy and I think one other strong hand, and they picked this up in the back of his flatbed and brought it to the site a few weeks ago. And in preparation of this, it just so happened that the Victory Garden class that is taught at the North Long Beach Victory Garden every so often was having their graduation last Saturday. And so for their final act, we brought in a lot of tomato plants from Cal State Fullerton, and all of those tomato starts and the gardens were planted so that in a few months this produce will become the produce stand produce. So that happened just yesterday. There's next opportunities to get involved in this project and be a part of it is Saturday, May 1st. We're at the return of the crop swap at 10 a.m. at the site. We'll just be happy as clams because I don't think we've had a crop swap where people come and bring any backyard produce that they may have, or lemons or oranges or herbs or vegetables, and share them since November, I feel. So we're really excited. There's going to be a lot of good energy there. We'll be talking about this project. And then on May 8th, the next week after that, we're going to have a volunteer build day, which should be more fun than anything. And all hands are included. I know Amy's young kids are going to be running around at the site. So these are just really fun, engaging ways to be a part of this new exciting vehicle for more healthy food in our community. Moving on, so another project that we're working on with the We Rise is a mural at the Bixby Knolls Farmers Market. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to the Thursday Market, but it's kind of an interesting location compared to some of the other ones. It's not in a park or, it's really adjacent to a large shopping center. It's on a sort of a service road next to Atlantic, the main road. And so it doesn't have that some of that place vibe and feeling of some of the other markets. And so Kelly Johnson was really excited to partner with us to create a mural at the site to help sort of honor the work of the farmers and essential workers during this time, and also help create a better place, because there's also a lot of trash that gets left by this wall. Like people seem to park there and kind of throw their trash there, eat there. So people are enjoying this site, but there's not really that stewardship. And so we wanted to use this to get everyone who is at the site really engaged and thinking about this as a place that they use, and then have it sort of reflect them, so that they take more ownership and pride over it, and that the market can flourish and continue to expand there as well. And so I haven't seen all of the information that came in, but we will be painting the mural on Thursday, May 20th. So that's the day that we're going to come back together and have fun really doing the work together. Another project that I couldn't be more excited about is we're going to be building a garden, a market garden or a restaurant garden, kitchen garden, I guess you call it, a kitchen garden for Casa Chosky's over on the west side on Santa Fe. Now, if you haven't been to Casa Chosky's, the food is outrageous. The pollo saltado, the lomo saltado, the empanadas, my favorite's the casa, which is like a boiled potato with chicken salad in it and like a lime flavor. Oh, it's a casa limon. I don't know what it's so good. Anyway, so Chosky's is a really interesting guy. He started selling his food on Instagram and delivering it here in Long Beach, and now he has a really lovely kind of it's almost like a little casita on the west side where he's cooking up this delicious food. And right in the back, there's maybe 100-foot by 20-foot grass patch, which is anchored by a beautiful big calamansi tree, which is the Filipino lime. It's very sour, very flavorful citron. Oh my God, it's good. And Jeff Rowe, our master gardener friend from North Long Beach, has been working on the West Side for the last few months as part of his Project Business Lift program with a bunch of partners over there. The Long Beach Economic Partnership is one of them, the Long Beach Center for Economic Inclusion. And what they're essentially doing is, many of you guys probably know about the bids or the business districts in town. So Belmont Shore, Bixby Knolls, downtown, 4th Street, uptown. But then there's a lot of areas that don't have this structure. And so the businesses there lack a level of service and communication that the bids have. And so this Project Business Lift is sort of an attempt to provide some of that connectivity. And so they've been going up and down the street, connecting the businesses to facade improvement resources, small, CARES Act grants to help bail out the businesses, and other programs that are available right now. And so in interacting with Chosky's, Jeff and Augustine came up with the idea that they need to turn this back lot into a garden. And thankfully, partner Long Beach Economic Partnership with Blair Cohn on it, they immediately saw the value in this, and they helped fund a fence. So a fence is supposed to be going up, this week, we believe, and then this Saturday we're going to be hosting a work party there for up to 20, 25 volunteers to go build this garden. And we really need, your help to come. And the carrot of this is you get to eat a lot of Chosky's food. So there's going to be empanadas at the end. There's going to be vegetarian fried rice. And so we hope you can join us there. And then immediately after, I'll tell you about it later, but there's also an event, not too far from here that's related. So it could be a full day this weekend for you. We've got your weekend plan. So this project leads into a We Rise event called the Everybody Eats Festival. And the idea of this festival was we wanted to put a deadline on a bunch of great work being done on the West Side to make sure it gets done and to make sure that it all gets showcased as an integrated system and neighborhood. Because sometimes just things come online here or there and maybe people don't take notice. But if we really take a moment and reflect on all of the good things happening and all of the new and the old assets in an area, it's really a great chance to see a whole system and how it's evolving. And so our intent with this was to highlight a couple of key things. Number one is the Casa Chosky's Chef Garden, which is well on its way. Number two is a community marketplace food hub that we're building with food finders. And I'll be showing you a little bit more about that in a minute. A third thing is some upgrades to a local Filipino market there that is selling fresh produce but has some equipment needs. And the city happens to have a program to help markets, healthy markets, upgrade their equipment. And so we hoped to help broker those upgrades. And then also Grow to Zero Farms, which is a farm that recently opened in the last year, I believe, on Santa Fe. And we wanted to make sure people saw what was happening there and connected it to all this. And then, of course, when you're in the neighborhood, you got to go to Guanabana and get handmade, homemade ice cream and mangonadas and treats. So we figured this is pretty amazing, enticing, and great storytelling about what's happening on the West Side and some of the great food assets. So diving a little deeper into that, this is the Grow to Zero farm. And this is really an incredible story just in itself. It's about a mile north of Casa Chosky's, and it's a big, prominent, empty, vacant lot right across from Stevens Elementary School. And this lot was vacant for 50 years. 50 years it was empty. And a few years ago, Tony and I and a lot of you worked very hard to get the Urban Ag Incentive Zones law passed in Long Beach, opted into in Long Beach. And the realtor representing this lot contacted us and asked us for help to connect UAIZ to a potential tenant. And we created I think it was called an RFP. And instead of a request for proposals, it was it was an RFF, a request for farmers. And we did a request for farmers, and lo and behold, down the line, Go to Zero, which is like a nonprofit arm of a waste consulting organization, they leased the property for 5 years, and they've started developing this farm on it. And they're using Soxbox technology, which is a really interesting way of high intensity growing. And this is kind of a map of their site. And they've also been doing food distribution to the community through grants from the city and maybe others. And they were already even featured on Good Day LA. But I know a lot of us haven't been there. Their site is not open, and UAIZ does not allow them to build structures on the site. So, you're not going to see a visitor center or a hot dog stand or anything like that. So they've been very creative in how they engage the community and overcome some of these obstacles. One of them is adjacent to the site, there's an apartment, and they rented the apartment so that they have a kitchen, a bathroom, and all that. So very creative stuff and very interesting folks who are real go-getters. And we want everyone to meet them and hear this story and get more connected to those folks. I mentioned Guanabana. We'll definitely be going there and eating and trying their delicious homemade ice creams and ices. We helped them several years ago shoot a video that went viral twice. So they're really great friends and great people. As I mentioned also, this Food Finders Hub is a very interesting project that is going to be finding itself a home on the West Side and the North Side. But as part of the Everybody Eats Festival, we wanted to inform people about this new technology that's going to be coming to the West Side, where it's a refrigerated cargo container that will hold food in it. And then twice a month, they will open up and have a sort of free community marketplace around this container There'll be nutrition information, there'll be recipe cards, there'll be chef demos. And so this project is something that is going to have a huge impact on the west side and the north side. And so the Everybody Eats Festival is a time where we're going to be looking at it and learning more about it. As I mentioned to the ANF market, this is a market there on Santa Fe, Filipino owned. And Jeff Rowe has been going in there, connecting them with resources. And one of the resources we really want to connect them with is Long Beach's Healthy Market Program. And usually the way the Healthy Market Program works is the health department goes into a market that maybe isn't that healthy, and they help educate them on why they should sell healthy food, and they help them, hide the Doritos and try and put forth the apples and shrink the soda sizes. And there's all these little things they do to try and make it a healthier market. And the way that they are enticing the business to do that is by helping provide them resources to upgrade some of their equipment, like their refrigerators, etc. But that being said, the program has always gone, fairly slowly because you can't get all the elements to work together at the same time. Well, with Jeff working closely with this market and this market already having the proclivities towards serving healthy food, the only real issues that lie are that they don't have the right equipment, and then there's a few other things that they need to do to comply with the Healthy Market Program. So that's all being negotiated right now, and we're very hopeful that they will be able to complete that process and that this healthy serving market will have the right refrigeration and equipment they need to continue to and maybe even expand providing services in the neighborhood. Also, at that Everybody Eats Festival, we'll have the reveal of the Chosky's farm. We'll have a lot of great food at Chosky's, and so we'll be really seeing a lot of different facets of the food system on the west side. I did want to give a shout out to tomorrow, the Eco Fair at the brand new Sowing Seeds of Change farm that we also helped get started at. It's going to be in a new park space that's between Drake Park and Cesar Chavez Park. It's almost an $8.5 million park upgrade. And right at the heart of it, our friends Lindsay Smith and Dina Feldman will be opening up this amazing farm. And so this is just right, about 6-minute drive from Chosky's. So we're highly recommending you go to Chosky's in the morning and then work your way over to the Eco Fair for quite a full day participating in the Long Beach food system.